And the first thing we got to talk about today, it was the most requested story on the text line over the weekend, and that is the Watcher scandal, especially because we now have some huge updates. Right, so for those of you who do not know, Stephen Lim, Ryan Bergara, and Shane Madej are the people behind Watcher. And if you didn't know their names but they look familiar, they got their start on BuzzFeed Video before moving on to this project. And notably with that, they have a very solid following on YouTube. But over the weekend, they put out a video called Goodbye YouTube, where they announced that they were leaving the platform to create their own streaming service.
Everyone has different missions they're marching towards on YouTube. Ours was to make a television show. And, over time, you start to realize, hey, maybe television shows aren't meant for YouTube. Perhaps we should find a different place that's better suited to the content that we're making and can support the dollar amount that we're putting into each of these episodes.
Right, and they note that Watcher's grown a lot. It employs 25 people. There are a lot of costs in making every episode, and relying on advertising doesn't feel sustainable. And so they say that having their own independent streaming service, it's just going to give them more freedom. With a service set to be ad-free, costs $6 per month or $60 annually. And as far as on YouTube, they said, when new seasons of shows pop up, we'll post the first episode here, but if you want to see the full season, you got to go pay. We'll also have trailers, stuff like that. And so with that, they did not get the reaction I think they were expecting, with fans quick to denounce this and share their disapproval, saying things like, putting all your videos behind a paywall is the nail in the coffin for an internet career. As well as, gonna be honest, I've been watching Ryan and Shane since the beginning of BuzzFeed days. I've watched them weekly for years now, but I can't justify paying for another streaming platform just for Watcher shows. Think you're gonna lose a lot of your audience, to be honest. As well as, respectfully, get over yourselves. I don't think your audience of broke college students is gonna pay for another subscription service just to watch content they've been getting for free for years. Horrible move. Some also saying they felt like the crew is dismissive of how affordable $6 a month is for everyday people. I'll say I went into this situation blind. I'm unfamiliar with them. That is not meant as a dig. The internet is fucking massive. You could have 10 million subscribers. There's billions of people who don't know who you are. When I saw this, I was just wondering, why didn't they launch a Patreon or a fourth wall? And actually, as it turned out, Watcher TV is an addition to their already existing Patreon, which is tiers that range from $5 to $100 a month, and they have over 13,000 patrons, with it appearing to be the plan for that to still exist, but to be more about their podcast, as well as giving subscribers a discount for then Watcher TV, the new service. Right, so at the very least, this is all kind of messy. But you had everyday viewers as well as big creators going after them. Commentators like Moist Critical calling this a greedy move. And this, as others accuse them of pretending to be poor, and also saying if they can't make a profit with their revenue streams, then they have to be doing something wrong, right? And if that's true, launching a sub-service nobody wants won't fix anything. Also, in the midst of this, there was a petition to remove Stephen as the group's CEO and to keep Watcher free. And a lot of this seemingly resulting in Shane's wife, Sarah Rubin, defending their choice, writing, I get people don't like to pay for things that were once free, but paying people fairly and making a survivable living while making cool things is hard, even with ads. I think what the fellows are cooking up will be well worth it, to be honest. And in the tags of that post, noting that not everyone has Mr. Beast's money to play with, which, some agreed with, whereas others felt like she was trying to guilt trip the fans. But then we got a massive update today from the guys over at Watcher.
We messed up.
Right, first, apologizing for the announcement and the way that it landed, and thanking fans for supporting them over the years, and adding that their concerns and complaints were valid. And one of the biggest things is that the content will not be fully paywall.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier. After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free. For those that have already subscribed to the platform, we are so grateful for your support. But if this change has you rethinking your membership, we will issue a full refund.
With them going on to say, they made this choice because they were having a hard time staying relevant to advertisers, and they didn't want to put themselves in a position where they'd have to do layoffs or fully shut down. And going even further, saying they think that would have happened if they remained just on YouTube. And while that video, as of recording, is brand new, so far the responses already appear pretty positive, thanking them for changing course, saying this sounds like a much better and fairer plan for fans. With this, I gotta say two things. One, of course, I'd love to know your thoughts. Whether you're someone that watches a lot of content on YouTube, or specifically if you're a fan of Watcher. But also, two, I gotta say, with the way things have played out, it makes me feel even better for not chiming in over the weekend. Because once again, outside of this story, I have no idea who these guys are. And it felt like a lot of people were very quick to paint them as these greedy monsters. Which, hey, once again, I don't know them. But to me, this just seemed like a misstep. I think it's very possible that they looked at their content and their situation, and then they looked to formerly College Humor, now Dropout TV, and they were like, that's kind of a one-to-one, right? They switched to a paid subscription model. It's really worked out for them, at least seemingly. Though that also doesn't keep in mind the full backstory of Dropout TV and how all of that went down. I will also say that Dropout TV is very unique in the quality and the amount of content they put out. And actually just in the last 2 weeks became a paid subscriber for their content, and it's so worth it right now. And personally, based on the limited amount I know about these guys, I'm glad that it's gonna seemingly work out from here, at least with a decent chunk of their audience. But yeah, the final thing I'll say here is I do hope that this initial initial positive reaction that ends up being the main reaction. Because it really does seem like these creators have listened to the community and the reaction and gone, oh shit, that was a misstep. Here's how we're going to fix it. Instead of what you often see, which is like a doubling down and a fuck you, I'm the victim mentality. And then on the other side, right, this is a two-way street, seeing fans that aren't just going, you're only doing this because we got angry. Right? They shared their opinion and anger and it was hurt. So yeah, hopefully everyone can move on and everything's happy and three guys don't have to sit on a couch again and say I'm sorry, which has happened a weird number of times.